Big time Tuesday, 3-0 night, all dogs. You had the big one with the Nationals, had the Brewers and the Reds in there as well. All 2-unit bets. It makes it an 8-unit night, 3-0 sweep. Could have been better also. If you guys tuned in yesterday, I saw a lot of you guys commenting both on the Instagram, on the YouTube, some of the other games that you caught from watching this podcast, and you went on some other sides as well. So you guys know some of our reads we're looking at. D-backs, one of those, Cleveland, one of those, some of those other sides we were looking at that ended up pulling it out. Either way, though, can't complain on a 3-0 night, all dogs. And hopefully we can keep that going on into this card going today. Please, guys, keep up the engagement. We appreciate it. Love all the support you guys are showing on the Instagram and on the YouTube channel. Like we still said throughout the week, on Friday, we will be giving out $100 to someone who continues doing that. So please keep engaging with the content. It helps us a lot. John, got to be feeling pretty good. I know the voice is more banged up today than it was yesterday, but either way, got to be feeling good after a 3-0 night.
Feeling real good. As Ben said, we leaned to a couple of other winners, but we also stayed off some losers. Sharp guys, they had winners of the games we leaned to. Being Arizona, they weren't on that one, but they were on Cleveland. But they were also on Red Sox, loser, Mets, loser, San Fran, loser. They were also on Miami, a winner. So a mixed bag there. We were on our three solid bets, all three winners. We talked a little bit about the Yankees. And again, guys, the Yankees, they don't have to lose 9 in a row. They just had to lose 1. That was last night. Okay. It will be the same thing today. I think the stat is today, Yankees haven't lost 10 straight since the 19-teens. But they don't have to lose 10 in a row. It's just one game. So keep that in mind. But yeah, a big night, a 166 dog with the Nats. You look at the game and you're saying, like, how's it even possible if the price is that big? If you're just going to bet because the Yankees are due to win, that's when you're going to find yourself owing the books a lot of money. Anyway, good night last night. Let's keep it going today.
Yep, I'm not sure who it was who said it on the live yesterday. They said, isn't the square thing to do to bet the Nats because the Yankees, everyone's expecting the Yankees to keep losing. It's like, I don't think it's a square thing to do. He's making money on them. They're going to continue to make money against them. But yeah, first game on the card, the early game, John, Cardinals at Pirates. Very early, Pirates get it done. Pirates started to really own this matchup. 7-9 meetings this year, all 5 in Pittsburgh. St. Louis has lost 6 of 7. Pittsburgh, they now have won 3 of 4. Thompson versus Ortiz. Thompson's just going to be his third start this season. And for Ortiz, he's being recalled back up. He was banged up back earlier in July. Either way, they can't bet St. Louis right now. I thought maybe we'd see a vintage Wainwright performance comes up maybe against a team he's just owned for the last several years. Even that wasn't enough. Can't really make an argument here to backing Thompson, just his third start. This would be Pirates or nobody.
Yeah, but the shops are all over the Cardinals. So this game opened Pirates minus 110. It's gone now to Cardinals minus 126. And I'll give them the pitching edge, but that's it. I've been waiting all morning to bet the Pirates, thinking that they might sit somebody, the Cardinals, but they do have Edman, Arenado, Goldschmidt all in the lineup. Pirates playing all their guys also. Thought they might give McCutcheon, the old guy, a day off after the night game. He's in the lineup. Both teams are in the lineup. Pittsburgh or nothing. Pittsburgh at least is trying. St. Louis has been dead for quite a while.
And we have Cubbies at Detroit. Tigers even up the series last night. 8-6 win. That snaps a little 3-game win streak the Cubs had cooking up. Detroit playing good ball right now. They've won 5 of 7. Tejon versus Skewball. Skewball's just been terrific in 4 home starts so far this season. Only 1 unearned run in 18 1/3. Has not given up an earned run at home. Granted, just 4 starts, but big difference in the splits there. And then Tejon, last time out, quality start, 4 runs, 2 earned in 6 innings there. Prior to that was lit up by Toronto. And before that had a nice little 5-game stretch. So Tejon, a little bit of a bounce back start. We'll see how he looks here against Detroit. This is just a Cubs team that needs wins. So I'm not betting against the Cubbies here. It'll be Cubs or nothing. Don't love the price. You have this Cubs team currently in a wild card spot tied with Arizona. They're each a half game up on the Giants and the Reds and a 1 game up on the Marlins. That 5-team race is damn close. And I'm going to have a hard time betting against any of those 5 teams down the stretch of the season as long as they're not playing one another. So this is just based off of standing purposes alone. Would be a slight lean here to the Cubbies, not wanting to go against what Skewball's been doing. And Tigers playing decent.
Screwball pitching good. Tigers pitch playing good. Cubbies went from red hot right after the All-Star break to playing 500 ball in the last 10 games or so. Give Screwball the edge, the pitching advantage, but just maybe a little too high, especially with the Cubs in the race. Detroit not. Cubs are nobody, but right now it would have to go a little bit higher for me to get involved. Cubs, I've got that lineup there playing everybody today.
Then we have Giants at the Phillies. Phillies walk it off. Trey Turner, he gets it done for them last night. This Giants team just really struggling right now. They have now 3-10 their last 13, 2-13 their last 15 road games. For a while there, they're holding that top wild card spot. Now out of it, half game back, like we just mentioned. Phillies there still up on the top of that NL wild card. They've won 4 of 6, playing good ball. Cobb versus Lorenzen. Cobb, last 3 starts, just been brutal. 0-2, 8.80. He's been worse on the road all year. 5.08 ERA in 13 starts. And then Lorenzen, who was just on an absolute tear since the beginning of July, ended that tear with a no-hitter. Comes back for his second start in a row against the Nats after 8 days off. And then, as you guys know, that was one of our bets we had there, as he got crushed by them. 7 runs, 8 hits, and 3 1/3. Would expect him to have a little bit of a bounce back here against the San Francisco team, just not hitting right now. So don't want any parts of the Giants not winning. I'm interested to see if this price will go any lower for us on Lorenzen. It's almost close enough for me to be comfortable laying this number, but just not enough there. Phillies are nobody here, though. Don't want any part of Cobb, who's been struggling, or Giants, who have just been horrible.
Yeah, Sharps buried San Fran in the first 2 games of the series, and you got their ass handed to them the first 2 games of the series. You guys know we've bet against the whatever pitcher's thrown a no-hitter this year. We bet against him the next time out, and it paid big dividends against Lorenzen last time. But before that, he was pitching great. Cobb, he's been struggling last 3 starts. He's been struggling on the road all year. Pitching advantage Lorenzen, hitting team-wise advantage Phillies. San Fran is a dead team right now. Dropped 5 of 6, scoring just 2.83 runs a game. 2-13 their last 15 road games. It's Philly or nobody at this number. If the Sharps decide they want to take another shot at San Fran, I'll gladly lay the cheap number with the home team.
Then we have Marlins at the Padres. Marlins, again, one of these teams in that mix. They're the 5th team out there. They're 1 game back of everybody else. Currently, they're 2-3 on this trip, 2-5 their last 7, and really on the road the last month and a half, 5-17 their last 22. But they get it done last night. San Diego, final game of 4-5 homestand. We'll see how they wrap things up here. Alcantara versus Lugo. Alcantara looking back to form, and Marlins are going to need that if they're going to be involved in this race here down the stretch. 4 of his last 5 starts, quality starts, 2.13 ERA. Last time out, 3 runs in 6 innings against the red-hot Dodgers. They get a win there. Did have a bit of a rough outing against San Diego earlier this year, but was good against them last year. And Lugo, 6 shutout innings last time out against the D-backs. Did have some rough relief outings versus the Marlins last year, but obviously being moved out here in the rotation with San Diego this season. Bit of a different read there. Either way, same things with the Padres. Sharps are betting them. Sharps putting that number up. No reason for it. Alcantara definitely has the pitching edge. Team edge, maybe nothing too drastic there just because of Miami's struggle on the road. But this is a game Sandy can go and get a win here for the Marlins. This is Miami or nothing. Wait to see how high it goes.
Yeah, it's 11:30. We shoot this podcast. We start usually about 11 o'clock. So we're sitting right now. We're looking at 11:30, and the Padres are a 130 favorite. This is the team that's the most overvalued team in baseball right now. San Diego Padres. Alcantara looking really good. 4 of his last 5 starts. Lugo looked good his last time out. Before that, not so much. This is the Padres. Sorry, guys. Padres are 4-5 on this homestand, hitting 200. So that's not a small sample size. Over the 9 games of this homestand are hitting 200. In the last 4 games, scoring just 2.75 runs per game. Keep betting San Diego. We'll gladly take the value against you, especially with Sandy in this spot.
Yeah, have to love the value there. Then we have a nice NL East matchup. Mets at the Braves. Braves even up the series with a 3-2 win last night. Their bats have cooled off a little bit. Mets 4-2 their last 6 on this trip, 7-3 last 10 overall. And then you have this Braves team that dropped 2 of 3, scoring just 3.3 runs per game, still 9-3 their last 12. this Mets team, and you go from last year, Bassett to Grom, Scherzer, you throw in Verlander in the mix this season, all gone, and now your new ace, Jose Quintana. 5 straight quality starts. Last time out, 2 runs in 6 innings versus St. Louis. His start before that was a quality start against the Braves, 1 run in 6 innings there. And then is Morton going here for the Braves? He's 3rd in the league, 66 walks this season. Last 2 starts, 11 shutout innings. And the last one had 10 Ks, 1 walk against the Yankees. Prior to that, against the Mets, 4 Ks, 7 walks, and 5 shutout innings. So we'll see if he continues to have those walk struggles here against the Mets again. Big price here. Mets playing good ball right now. Quintana pitching fantastic. I give him the pitching edge here. Would be Mets or nobody. Slight lean to that one. I'm not jumping out of my seat to go against the Braves, but Mets playing good ball. Maybe they're playing with a little bit more pride in this matchup than they were early in the year.
Shops bet the Mets the first 2 games of the series, so they split out. There's been a little money for the Mets this morning, not as much. I lean to the Mets, but I just don't want to go out and say it's Mets or nobody. We'll see if anybody gets a break. Not that Atlanta gives any of their guys a break. Pretty much for the same for the Mets. Alonso, Lindor, they got him in there just about every single day. I'll lean to the Mets, not much more than that. If the price was to go up higher, I could get interested.
We have Mariners at the White Sox. Just a pitching mismatch here. Kirby versus Kopech. Kirby been a stud. Last time out, though, 4 runs in 6 innings versus Kansas City. Prior to that, had a nice little stretch, 1-0, .86 in 3 prior starts. Kopech, he's 2nd in the MLB, 76 walks. Last 2 starts, 13 runs and 8 1/3. One of those was at Coors, but either way, he's just been getting banged up lately. The Seattle team staying red hot. It's their second 8-game win streak of August. 16-3 last 19. Julio Rodriguez missed the last 2. Didn't matter. Still got it done. Won the first 2 in this series combined 20-14. Big price. Number doesn't belong to be this high, but I don't have the balls to go ahead and bet against this Seattle team right now. So this is Seattle or nothing on the run line. I don't see any value there laying the money line. You got to play the run line in this game. Could be a little bit of a letdown. We'll see, though. This is can't back Kopech.
A lot of guys ask us when we use the term overlay. So this is the epitome of an overlay.
Yep.
A pitching mismatch, Kirby versus Kopech. You've got the hottest team in baseball is the Seattle Mariners playing against one of the coldest, a team that's out of it, the White Sox. So you got about approximately an additional 20 cents packed onto the number here. Even though it's an overlay, we like to go against the overlays. But there's no way I want to touch this one. Again, red hot Mariners, ice cold White Sox, pitching mismatch. It's an overlay. We'll usually take them. Not in this case. We'll pass this one.
And Royals at Oakland. Oakland looking to get a sweep here. They've won 4 or 5 meetings this year. First 2 in this series. Kansas City, they've now dropped 7 of 8. A's 3-3 their last 6. You guys know the story. A's worst home team. Royals second worst road team. Reagans versus Martinez. Reagans actually been very good. 3 of his 4 starts in August, quality starts, 2.66 ERA. Last time out, 3 runs in 6 innings and a win against the Cubbies. Then you have Martinez going to be making his first start as an opener. Had a relief outing on Saturday as Baltimore gave up 5 runs, 3 earned in an inning. So Reagans definitely has a pitching edge here over an Oakland bullpen game. Kansas City is a road favorite. Not going to say that many times this year, and we got one of those spots here. So Oakland getting it done, playing 500 ball this past week. Can they get another one here to complete the sweep? Could only look at the A's here at plus money. No way could I lay Kansas City as a road favorite.
No. So forget Martinez. Martinez is going to be used as an opener. He's going to pitch an inning, maybe 2. So I'm waiting to see who's following just yet. I'm going to give Reagans a pitching advantage regardless, because he's actually looked really good in 3 of his 4 starts. But KC just doesn't win on the road, and they score the fewest runs on the road in Major League Baseball. A's score the least amount of runs at home. Low-scoring teams. Reagans a good pitcher, or has looked good so far. Let's see who's going to be the bulk reliever for Oakland, but there's no way in the world that the Kansas City Royals are a 140 favorite on the road, even at the Oakland A's.
Nope, can't make it that high. We'll see what goes there when we'll find out an opener, how to beat the bookie members. You guys know we'll get to you when we know who's following that. Blue Jays at Baltimore. Gosman versus Flaherty. Flaherty scratch. Gosman versus Creamer. Blue Jays to get the win last night in extras. Orioles, they've still won 8 of 11 meetings this year. Santander didn't play. He's questionable, waiting to see what's going on there. And their lead starting to diminish a little bit. 2-game lead right now on Tampa Bay. We'll see if they hold on to that. Toronto playing good road baseball right now, 11-4. Their last 15. Gosman roughed up his last time, gave up 7 runs in 5 1/3 against the Phillies. Prior to that, 7 shutout innings against Cleveland. 2 starts versus the Orioles this year. 1 really good, 1 really bad. 5 runs in 12 1/3 overall, though. Had a 70 ERA against them last season. Creamer's been terrific. They're 10-2 his last 12 starts. Last time out, another quality start, 3 runs in 6 innings against San Diego. He's been very solid, very consistent for them all season long. Give me the Orioles here. Home dog. They played really well in this matchup. Gosman coming off a rough start. Just told you they're 10-2 in Creamer's last 12 starts. I'll take that at plus money with the best team in the AL at home all day long.
Only thing is Baltimore starting to slip a little bit. Now, they had a 3-game winning streak coming into that game last night, but those 3 games were against the Oakland A's. They lost a couple of games out at San Diego just prior to the 3 games at Oakland. These are must games. I think they feel the rope tightening a little bit. Tampa Bay playing well, and they get Colorado again today, team they should beat. Toronto now 1 game behind Seattle for the final wild card spot as that Western Division tightens also. Tough game here. Just can't make Guzman that big a favorite, especially with his history against Baltimore. This number has only gone up. So we're not jumping on it now, but we're looking at Baltimore in this one as a home dog.
And we're going to have this Red Sox at Houston matchup continuing here. Astros, they've taken the first 2 in the series, playing better ball now after getting swept by Seattle. Currently, this price, looking at a fairly cheap price for Houston as a low favorite. I mean, really, this series, they haven't been overpriced a lot. They're respecting Boston on the road a lot out of that Yankee series, which heading into that Yankee series, they weren't getting it done on the road, really. Sale versus Urquidy. Sale, 2 starts back from the IL, nothing special. 5 runs, 4 earned in 9 innings. That's against Washington, Detroit. Nothing crazy offensively there. Did face the Stros twice in the ALCS back in 21. Gave up 5 runs in 8 innings in those 2 appearances. Urquidy, another guy who's kind of returned somewhat recently. Last outing was 2 shutout innings in relief for Seattle. Prior to that, in a start versus the Angels, 1 run in 5 innings. This is Astros or nobody. Playing good in this matchup. They need wins coming off the sweep. Pitching edge, I'll give it slightly to Sale, but nothing too drastic there. 2 pitchers who probably aren't going to go too deep into this game. Sale hasn't shown anything that he's back yet. I mean, earlier this year, on one of his returns from the IL, there was a clear flip of a switch when he kind of looked back and he had his stuff back. Haven't seen that yet. So until that, I can't respect this price on it. They're pricing him like he's still at 100%. Don't see that version of him. With that, give me the Astros at a cheap price at home.
Well, again, the Sharps have bet the Red Sox in each of the first 2 games of this series. It was a little money movement for them this morning. Also, Jordan Alvarez, late scratch last night. He'll be questionable again today. Urquidy, injured most of the year, came back, hasn't looked good. They moved him to the bullpen. Now they'll try starting him. So I don't like that scenario either. To me, this line is right where it should be. If Alvarez does sit out again today, Houston hot on the heels. Texas is a dropping knife right now. Just a half game behind Texas, Houston is, and Seattle now just 1 game behind Texas. We got a nice little 3-team race in the West.
We're heading to the first place Central matchup, Twins and Brewers. Brewers get it done last night for us. That was one of the winners. They've now won 3 straight in Milwaukee. Still not fairly cheap price here. You have this Twins team who's 2-5 last 7 road games. Brewers have won 4 straight. Really playing great baseball right now. 8-3 to last 11. All 3 losses came out of Red Hot Dodger Stadium. And other than that, playing great ball. Maeda versus Burns, pretty good pitching matchup. Maeda roughed up last time out, 3 runs in 4 innings. Prior to that, a pair of quality starts, 2 runs in 12 innings. And then you have Burns going. 8 of his last 9 starts, quality starts, been on a tear. Last time out, held the Dodgers 2 hits, 7 shutout innings, been phenomenal. Don't want to buck what Burns is doing. This is Milwaukee or nobody. You add in the Twins' road struggles, everything else. Also looking at the under in this matchup. Pretty good pitching matchup. 2 teams that offenses don't really light it up. Saw Brewers get a set of it on the board last night. Don't know if they're going to be able to do that against Maeda here. And Burns been terrific. Milwaukee or nothing, under or nothing for me in this matchup.
Just to touch upon our games last night. So, yes, Milwaukee was our one winner, one of our 3 winners yesterday. The Sharps gave us that one. They bet Minnesota. So we'll wait to see if they come on what Minnesota money you get today. If you guys pay attention, you'll see all 3 of our bets yesterday were all interleague games, and we had National League teams in all 3 of them. Just undervalued. We always look for value. Same scenario here. Burns has been great in 8 of 9 starts. Great against the Dodgers his last time out. I would make this number higher. If it would have to go lower. If the Sharps come in and hit it and knock it down lower, I could see myself betting Milwaukee as a smaller favorite. You guys know I like to bet the dogs, but there could be value if this number was to drop anymore. Right now we're sitting at about 140. We need this game to drop down to 130 to be interested in it.
And then we have this Reds team, the other one of the winners last night. Another one of these teams just in this NL wildcard mix, half game out of it right now behind Arizona and Chicago. Abbott versus Ohtani, best pitching matchup on this card. Abbott, last 2 starts, not great, but solid. 4 runs, 10 and 2/3, 14 Ks, no walks. I like seeing that. But granted, against Cleveland and Pittsburgh, a couple of bottom offenses there. Ohtani, the last 3 starts, been phenomenal, but it's going to be his first one since the beginning of August. It's been a couple weeks off here. 1 run in 19 innings. Last one was a quality start for San Francisco. And you guys know the story with him being better at home. As an Angels team continuing to be overpriced. There's obviously Cincinnati or nothing here. You guys know we want nothing to do with the Halos. Got to see what's going on with Mike Trout. Which game do they sit him in? And assuming he's going to sit one of the games. Oftentimes, even before the injury, they would like to sit him on days Ohtani was pitching. So it could be one of those where he sits up in this game 1. We'll see. As Reds are nobody here. Could also be worth a look at the under. Neither team really scoring right now.
Yeah, I'm coming right back with Cincy. Ohtani, they pushed his starts back as it's thrown in 2 weeks, and they said it was due to fatigue. Well, look, kind of last thing one here is a pitcher. Yeah. If we go back, Ohtani had that game against Detroit, first game of a doubleheader. Allow was like a 1-hit complete game shutout. Comes out the next time, only a couple innings, cramping. He was dealing with cramping a lot. It's getting to that point of the year. Ohtani is looking at somewhere over $500 million contract. His team is out of it. How much of an effort do you give? And now, if he does, my cap's off to you. But here's the guy. If I know if it was me, I'm not pressing myself out there. If we're talking about a ridiculous amount of money down the road. So here comes Ohtani, team out of it, hasn't pitched in 2 weeks. Cincinnati, not only going for that wild card, only one team in the National League's got a better road record than Cincy, and that's the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. I like Cincy in this one. I'll take them again today.
Yeah, to your point about Ohtani, I think Ohtani saw DeGrom getting paid through all his surgeries and injuries, so I think he's feeling pretty confident he'll still get paid. But yeah, definitely got to play safe down the stretch here. Then we have Rockies at Rays. Rays, bats, get it done again. 12-4 last night. They are a ridiculous little stretch right now. 4 or 5, scoring over 10 runs a game, crushing 360 this week. Just absolutely on fire offensively. Tampa Bay is. You guys tuned in yesterday. You know I like that over in that one. I want to come back to the over in this one because both teams putting up runs right now. I have a hard time with this pitching matchup, though. Gomber versus Savall. Gomber, he was banged up his last time by the D-backs in Coors. But prior to that, 5-2, 2.72 in 9 starts. And obviously a lot better on the road outside of Coors Field. 4-5, 3.59 and 11 starts this year. Savali, he's coming off 3 solid starts so far now at Tampa Bay. 1-1, 2.93. Last time out, his best one yet. 6 shutout innings against the Giants. 2 pitchers have been going pretty well. Yes, Gomber coming off a rough start. We'll give a great assault in Coors Field there. Can't get in the way of this Tampa Bay offense. They're just smashing the ball right now. So will be a lean to the over on this game. Slightest of leans to Colorado just because Gomber's been going solid. But if Tampa Bay doesn't miss a beat, they're just going to continue crushing the ball right now. So staying away from this game. We'll see if Ray's offense can keep up that 10-run per game pace.
Yeah, Rocky's just a completely different team on the road as opposed to in Coors. At Coors, they were coming off they were hitting 306 and scoring 7.67 runs per game in their last 6 games. But you go on the road now, this team is scoring 3.7 runs per game, hitting just 230 on the road. Worst road record in the National League. Tampa, best home record. They caught fire. Tampa Bay, through all the adversity, losing their pitching, McClanahan, the Juan DeFranco disaster. All of a sudden, just 2 games behind Baltimore. These are the games they can't fall asleep on a game like this to make up ground, especially while the 2 teams, Baltimore, who's ahead of them, and Toronto, who's right behind them, they can't fall asleep on this game. This is the type of game they got Savali for, to come in and get a W going down the stretch. Gamba's been really good, though. I've made a lot of money with Gamba. He let us down the last time out. That was in cause on the road, he's allowed just 3 runs. His last 7th innings pitched on the road. So I don't know if I would want to be on that over, just because I don't think Colorado's going to score, and I think Gamba might be able to do a decent job, but I just can't get the value with Colorado in this one.
Then we have Nats at the Yankees, and this price, the fact that Severino is a favorite today is it's really hilarious at this point. I don't get it. 1-5, 11.08 ERA since July. Last time out, 5 runs, 3 earned against the Braves. Been a bit less horrible at home, 6+ ERA, but Severino's been unbackable. The Yankees are unbackable, 9 straight losses. You guys know it's one of the winners from last night. Gore, he's been solid, 4-2. The Nats are in his last 6 starts, coming off 1 hit, 6.1 shutout innings against the Red Sox. Nats at plus money. Yankees can't lose 10 in a row, huh, John?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I believe they haven't lost 10 in a row, like I said, since the 19 teams. They don't have to lose 10 in a row. They just got to lose 1 in a row. That's tonight. This line has only gone up. I expect it to only go up. I think you can have every square in the world on the Yankees saying they can't lose 10 in a row. And maybe they can't. But the value is with the Nationals. Ben gave you Severino statistics. With those numbers, I think me and Ben score off Severino and the Yankees. And if you score against the Yankees' non-existent offense, just what I wrote in the preview yesterday, you win. Nats were held to 2 runs, and that was more than enough to get the W. We'll wait to see how this line goes, but it's Nats or nobody. Sorry, Yankee fans.
Yeah, this Yankees team 1.67 runs per game. They're scoring on the 9-game losing streak 1.4 or hitting 149 the last 6. So no offense whatsoever. Then we have Dodgers at Cleveland. Last game on this card. Guardians get it done. Syndergaard got jumped on early, but ended up settling in a little bit. This LA team now cooling off a little bit. 2-2 their last 4. They scored 3 runs in all 4 of those, hitting just .213 this week. And they are 17-3 their last 20, but bats definitely cooling off. And we see that here in this. I said it yesterday, if you guys are tuned in here, when you have a team who's running well, the bats were already starting to cool off there in the beginning of that Marlins series. And you get the forced doubleheader, and then you get 2 days off out of that. It's just the kind of recipe to end a win streak, mess things up, throw everyone out of sync. Kershaw versus Curry today. Kershaw been terrific. 2 starts back from the IL. Hasn't been going far, but each of them 1 run in 5 innings versus the Brewers, versus the Rockies. Pitching very solid. Last year versus the Guardians, 1 run in 5 innings. And on the road this year, 3.09 ERA. Curry's coming off a quality start. He's been solid at home this season. This is Guardians or nobody. Home dog here. Looking at the under in this one as well. A couple of offenses cooling off. Guardians put up 8 yesterday. I don't see that continuing on to this one today. But I do think that the Dodgers are due for some continued regression. Them and Atlanta with their big division leads while the rest of the NL is battling here in these wild card races. They're going to be cruising a little bit down the stretch. Don't imagine them pushing the gas here on Kershaw. Would be surprised if he goes past 5 innings. Give me the Guardians. Home dog here.
Yeah, I got to agree. And the number has only gone up. The opening line on the overnight was minus 200. It's up 215 right now. So whatever movement has been towards the Dodgers. You expect to get a real good start out of Kershaw. The old vet coming in when the team needs him to shut down the other team. But as Ben said, I don't think he goes more than 5. That's what he's got in his first 2 starts back. Dodgers are not interested in beating the Guardians today. They're interested in the long run. They'll save that arm for down the road. Problem is, just one sec, guys, as we're getting lineups for the White Sox. Okay. Problem is, Guardians just don't hit it home. 29th in the league scoring and at home, and hit just 229 versus left-hand pitches. Don't expect much success against Kershaw today. Again, gonna have to do it against that bullpen. Could it still get done? Sure can. The number is Guardians and nobody. We'll see if there is anybody sitting in this one. We'll look at it later down the road, how far that line goes. But the good spot for the Indians betting the money, but we missed that number yesterday. Just could not back Syndergaard in that game. Dodgers, they put J.D. Martinez on IL also yesterday, so it's another bat out of that lineup.
That's this Wednesday card, guys. Some day games in there. Obviously, one bet already out to members. Some more we're looking at, waiting on some lineups, waiting on some pitching announcements in some of these games. Been a good week so far, coming off that 3-0 Tuesday, all dogs. Hopefully, we can keep it going. Really, this run started back last Thursday. Things have been hot since then. Hopefully, we can keep it hot on this card today. If you guys aren't a member yet, go check it out, howtobeatthebookie.com, or download the How to Beat the Bookie app. Get all this information and all the bets there. And if you guys are continuing, please help engage with our content on Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Like, comment, subscribe. Help us boost that. We'll be doing our giveaway on Friday. John, I know you're losing the voice today. Is there anything else you got for us?
I will say it's 5 out of 6 winning days. We had one losing day. That was Monday. It was a one-unit loser we had on the White Sox. We took a bite when Julio Rodriguez was out of the lineup. So other than that, it's been a nice little run. We hope to continue that straight through football. Right on the horizon. Here it comes.
Yes, it is. 2 weeks away from football. Make sure you guys become a member here before that. Stay tuned for the pool announcements. We'll be having those out shortly. And other than that, let's make some money.